Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
All right, so we'll start things we saw on Twitter with a tweet from Daryl Morey, who is, I don't know if he's just the GM or if he's the president of the 76ers.
Like the president, I think, of the 76ers.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and also for years, he was the GM of the Houston Rockets. And he tweeted out after Tom Brady made his 10th Super Bowl, Tom Brady made a huge mistake winning that game. When he loses to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, his legacy will be further tarnished. It is always better to lose before the Super Bowl than get to the Super Bowl and lose. To me, this is complete insanity, but do you guys see any validity in this?
I 100% agree with you. It is complete insanity, but the media, hey, now I'm just talking like Fox News, but there's validity in that. People will see it that way and go, so what is he right now? He's 6-3 in Super Bowls?
6-3, yeah.
6-3.
They'll go, 6. And I do remember when he was 4 and, I think, was he 4-3? He was 4-3, was he not? And then 1-2. No, he lost to Philly in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was. It felt like at one point, like 5-2. There was a big difference between 5-2 and 4-3, and the 4-3 didn't sound that good. But it's ridiculous. Like 10 Super Bowls is if you'd gotten to 10 Super Bowls and you'd won 3, like you were 3-7 or 2-8, then maybe you could say, something to that argument. But that's just idiotic. For a guy to make 10 Super Bowls is
Look, he's
mind-boggling.
My understanding is, and I think I heard this yesterday, thrown up by SportsCenter. He's now been in 18% of all the Super Bowls all time. Like, that's incredible.
Well, guys, I've covered. I'm not going to the Super Bowl this year because of the situation, so we're doing our coverage from back here. But this will be the 8th Super Bowl. I think the 9th Super Bowl I've covered and the 7th Brady Super Bowl. So my entire 2 decades of being part of the Super Bowl, it's always been freaking Brady. And Dennis Barham, who produces our Super Bowl coverage, we hate it because it's not a little bit different this year because of Tampa. It was when the Belichick factor was involved, it meant that every week I'd have to listen to a week of Belichick news conferences. But it does get tiring. Like, you want fresh storylines. Like, how many features have we done on Brady and Gronk? I must have voiced 20 of them, over the past 20 years. So, but it's remarkable what he's done. I don't know the percentages on this, but think about all the guys who start. So there's 32 teams in the league, right? I always get the NHL and NFL. So there's 32 teams in the league. And that would be, if you talk about guys who come in as starting quarterbacks, probably you can't say that only 2 of the 32 make it, because some teams will have a bunch of different starters. Like there's 2 of 40 quarterbacks, or 2 of, I guess if you count backups, you'd say 4 of 64 or whatever that make it to the Super Bowl. But starting quarterbacks, let's say it's 2 of 40, right? Because there's some teams that go back and forth with starters that you could argue who the starter is. So 2 of 40 make it. So over the course of your career, an average career is probably only 4 years in the NFL. I don't know what the odds are of making it to the Super Bowl. It's probably 5% or something like that if you play a bunch of years. And to make 10 is just it's mind-boggling.
Listen, there's no question. Look, you know how it is. People are trying to hype things all the time and say this and say that. Look, it's amazing. That's a ridiculous statement for that guy to make. Sorry. And you asked your second follow-up question. You were asking, how do you feel about if you're a Sixers fan? What's this guy popping off for? You got enough problems in Philadelphia as a basketball fan? This guy's popping off? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think the whole thing has a lot to do with, Brady's a very, controversial figure in some ways, but he's not particularly liked by certain people. So I guess that one argument of the Super Bowls he didn't win is the one that gets brought up. But also in recent years, as he's won them, he's 6-3 now. It's kind of hard to, even if someone goes to the Super Bowl and wins every other one, that's legendary.
Yeah.
I always go back to that Seattle game, though, man. I just can't believe that. That's still honestly, if I think about all the plays of sports and all time in championship games, I don't understand that call. You got a guy that's called beast mode. You have 1 yard. He's been wrecking the team the whole. You throw? What are you throwing the ball for?
But that's how they did it all year. I'm a Seahawks fan, so it's like that's how they played all year. When you're expecting them to run, they threw. When they're expecting them to throw, they ran. And it worked in the first half. They got a late touchdown doing the exact opposite. They're doing that exact same thing. And then at the end, I mean,
Malcolm Butler was in the right spot.
He made a great play. He watched the film and he read what was coming, and they made a great play. Sometimes that happens. I mean, if they hand it to Marshawn Lynch and he gets stuffed, they lose. Well, everyone says they made the great call, but you still lost. All they're trying to win the game. That's what they're trying to do. What they thought was the best way to win. I know people don't understand it, but Marshawn, I don't know the stats on it, but I remember that year, like he wasn't automatic from the goal line.
No, but he was just so dominant in that game. At that point, they couldn't stop him. Anyway,
one other thing there was, what got them to that goal line play was that miracle catch.
Oh,
it was going to be like a third miracle catch that would take a Super Bowl away from Brady. So it was almost.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say, and that's the thing that warps any discussion about Super Bowl records. The other thing that's goofy is, yes, quarterback has a big part of it, but massive team game. Those 2 Giants wins, Brady did exactly what he had to do to win both those games.
Absolutely.
And the miracle catches on both plays. And the Philly game, that was the one that I think they, legitimately the Eagles were
better team.
They were the better team. Of course, they're Stoff's team. But Brady wasn't terrible in that game. The Eagles, they racked up some crazy numbers in that game.
But he couldn't catch the Philly special, whereas Foles
that's
could.
Right.
So.
He couldn't.
I was just going to say that of all the Super Bowls, the Nick Foles beating him is going to be the one people will look back and be like, how did that
what the hell
happen?
just happened?
And he still hasn't
is this more
beaten
sports
him,
talk that we've ever done on the Rubber Boots podcast? In one Rubber Boots?
For sure.
I believe so.
Is there anything else on things to do on Twitter?
Yeah, in favor of moving along, we'll skip our other sports topic. And we will now go to Chuck Schumer as he attempts to tell us what incited the riot at the Capitol or what it incited.
Make no mistake, there will be a trial, and when that trial ends, senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection against the United States.
In fairness,
yeah,
I have seen the Trump rallies and have seen some of the women that go to the Trump rallies and some of the men that go to the Trump rallies. And I do think that Orange Man did excite them.
He did.
So I don't think Chuck Schumer is inaccurate in that depiction. What else you got for us, buddy?
We have our Liam McGuire tweet of the week, which is our listener tweet of the week. Shout out to Liam.
Shout out to
Liam.
And this one's from Pens Fan 7, or otherwise named Dave, and he was just commenting on our last episode saying Rooney Mara was born Patricia Rooney Mara. She dropped the Patricia for her stage name, so adding us a little more info we didn't know. Yeah. LOL, that whole segment cracked me up. So a lot of people seem to enjoy our
great comedy
research into the Rooney Mara saga.
We're at our best when we're at our dumbest.
Yeah,
I actually knew the entire Rooney Mara story, but I played dumb.
You played dumb.
Bring comedy to the segment.
I understand.
I think
you gotta dumb it down sometimes.
Our shorting stocks talk will kill them then.